prayers and shout outs and love to all the people that lost somebody in the floods here recently in Texas, and the children that are still missing. Hopefully they're found. And at this point, we're just praying that they're found.
That part. I know this is definitely one of the most historic, deadly floods in the state of Texas. I know Kerr County, they lost over 100 folks. Yeah. And as you said, those are still missing. And it's been tough because since the flood, we've continued to have rain down here in Texas and flooding and things of that nature. And I believe statewide, going around Travis County and all that, was also some folks that passed. So over 100 folks so far passed away from these floods, flash flood alley. And, it's a tragedy. It was July 4th, folks out there trying to enjoy themselves. And, a lot of youngsters out there just trying to, enjoy the summer. And, something like this happens. And it's one of those things where we've had many very bad floods in the past historically here in the state of Texas. For those that don't know, Austin has been flooded numerous times here in San Antonio. A lot of my research, a lot of floods happened here. One of the more deadly ones, over 100 people died in a night during the late 1920s. And here we are in 2025. And we're still seeing this number of deaths in the United States from a flood.
That's a 100-year flood right there, right? It's a 100-year flood.
And now we're getting them a little more quickly. Yeah, and they reference back to the one that happened in 1978 in the Kerr County area where people did pass, but it's just different now. Texas got more population. You got people from all over the country, if not the world, coming here for vacation, and places where there weren't a lot of people living. There's a lot of people living there now. Population densities change, and this just kind of became one of those things, and it's continuing to flood. We still have flood warnings on TV, so those still missing those, Lord bless them, they find them real soon.
Speaking of flood warnings, they didn't get any flood warnings until after the destruction.
Right.
I don't like that. I understand it maybe came in fast, and this is a personal opinion as far as that. It's facts that they didn't get the warnings until late. And then the destruction had already happened, the water had already came, and then boom, 2 hours after the flooding had already begun, they get warnings that, it's a flash flood. But I truly believe that our system is flawed. Could it be all of the budget cuts, the science budget cuts? Could it be the gutting of the country that this new bill is having? Could it be it's just lack of somebody's doing their job? Or is it lack thereof somebody to do the job?
Right.
It's a lot to be unpacked with this situation. In my personal opinion, infrastructure is very important.
Yep.
And when you get to changing the natural landscape of things and you get to overdeveloping certain things and building things in certain places it probably shouldn't be.
Right.
And not taking proper precautions when it comes to a flood zone or anything like that, this is the type of destruction you get when you don't properly plan construction the way that they do. They just kind of put stuff up.
Yep.
And it happens to fly up so fast that I feel like we didn't pay attention to the infrastructure and how it's really made and what water runoff look like. You know what I mean? And I think that caused a problem down there in Kerr County because you got so much water coming downhill.
Yep.
Not just from there in just that county. We're talking runoff from the top of Texas to the bottom of Texas.
You're completely right. A little more on that is, in this area where we live in, especially in the portion of San Antonio where we're at, a lot of the flooding that's happened here is because of the Edwards Plateau. That's right off of that. And a lot of these clouds come off of that Edwards Plateau. And that's why places like San Antonio, Austin, and places in the middle, such as Kerr County, when the clouds come down, the storms are that much more vicious because then they're met with the moisture coming in from the Gulf. And it creates these vicious thunderstorms and these vicious floods that literally within an hour, it's hard to think about it, but it'll raise like 6, 10, 15 feet of water. And I mean, that's crazy. I mean, really putting things in perspective, it was wild.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. BTP, I also want to bring a point up that we have a crazy amount of dry land.
Yes.
And those who are not very familiar with this very basic science understanding is when the ground is very dry and a bunch of water get on it, there's nowhere for it to go.
Yep.
So once it's that much water then came down in that fast, extended amount of time, super fast. We're talking over hundreds and hundreds of gallons of water.
Yes.
Within almost an hour.
Yep.
And it spans over 200 kilometers. Like, do you understand? Like, over 200 clicks. That's insane amount of space.
That's insane. I mean, that's
a big storm. So
huge storm.
That's mild.
I think they said like the debris field was like 65 kilometers, like the actual fields of it. And it's just like to put that in perspective. And what's so crazy is, before that flood happened here in Texas, I told my folks about this. I feel like this is one of the wettest summers I've ever seen in my life. I've
only seen one other.
So,
and you're what? How old are you, BTP?
Like
you're 30,
like 31.
31, right? So I'm about to be 39. I'll tell you right now, I've only seen one summer, and I was a little boy, where it rained continuously all summer.
Yep.
And we had floods galore. And it's because when you hit a dry ground with water, it eventually, and you do it fast, rapidly, the ground has no time to drink it.
Yep.
The plants have no time to soak it up. So they spit it back out. They get full fast. You know what I mean? So plants get full quickly. So they spit it back out. You want a quick science project? Go to your plant. If you have a plant in your house, overwater it.
Yep.
And it's gonna spit the water back out.
It's gonna spit it all out.
It's a crazy way that nature has a really big sense of humor.
And down here in Texas, we have a lot of limestone underneath. Not that much soil. It's like 8 inches of soil, and then you got limestone, and that water hits the limestone. This is gonna run off. It's just not going to take it, and so like it's been raining this entire time. About a week before this flood, there was a flood here in San Antonio where 13 people died. They died in this water crossing. It took the cars and wrangled them, and that was the talk of the city for a while. And then this happened, and it was just like, just everything.
The water just seceded.
Went through this.
Just went through that. And just before you guys had a flood, we had a crazy rainstorm that came through here. We had it's kind of hard to even call it a rainstorm. It was like a lightning storm. It was like a lightning storm that came through here and spit out ice. Like literally in one small section of Austin, we had nothing but ice. Like, and I mind you, it was 90 degrees that day.
Crazy.
It was 90 degrees that day. That storm spit out rain, ice, and like hell, huge chunks of hell. You know what I mean? Like big, huge chunks of ice. If those who don't know what hell is, that's outside of Texas. When you get a tornado, you get these type of mixtures, and these type of elements come out. But when you have this, like this, I've never seen a tornado spit out ice. Let's start there.
Crazy.
Never seen a tornado spit out ice. Hail is one thing, but I mean, literally, it looked like it snowed in maybe a 8 block radius of Austin. That's 8 blocks north, 8 blocks east and west. It was probably about maybe 10 blocks at the most. Nothing but ice, and the whole ground's covered. Like it looked like it just snowed out there. Yeah. I swear it's the strangest phenomenon I've ever seen in my life. Never seen nothing like that in Texas. Then backdoor lightning storm. Lightning storms that knock trees down at the same level of each tree. Each tree was bent over at the same level. I can't make this up. And then you got trees that fell on people's homes, cars, blocked them in. And this is one storm, one isolated storm. The whole city didn't even see this whole storm. That's the crazy part. That's the part that blew me away.
You could be in the north side and the east side has completely different weather. And anyone else, I mean, shit, here in SA is huge, so it's like, it'd be like raining, flooding, and then like South Bear County, nothing. And it's like,
sunshine.
sunshine, and it's like, oh, you just don't got to get it. Like, you know, like
it's insane. It ain't made it that way yet. You know what I mean? Like, by the time we get over there, it's probably just rain, and we're not talking like monsoon. You know what I mean? It's just rain. But this right here was like the equivalent of a fucking tsunami.
Yep.
In Kerr County, it's like the equivalent of a tsunami.
The storm of it almost looked like a hurricane with the rotation it had. And I remember watching the weather, and he kept saying that it kept getting strength and being pushed back up because we were getting so much pressure at that time. Yeah. It just wouldn't. All that pressure. Go away. Yeah.
So you know, and winds coming from the south.
Yep.
You got very heavy cold coming from the north.
Yep.
And then it just mixed. Like, and I also think that's how we ended up getting ice on one side of town. You know what I mean? Because you got so much high and low pressure. You know what I mean? That's not supposed to be here.
Right.
We're not supposed to get moisture that far up from the. You know what I mean? Like, of course we're humid. We all know that. But that's because we have a lot of bodies of water throughout Texas.
Yep. But
all this humidity, all that Gulf pressure, that's different. Hurricanes usually stop at about Houston, people.
Yep.
We don't get hurricanes that walk all the way up Texas like this.
That's real talk. And I remember the last hurricane that was real big. What was it? It ran through, I forgot what state it was, and it went through Appalachia and exited near New York and went back into the ocean, and then it went down. And it's just like, whoa, now we're getting hurricanes that go across the entire continental U.S. Like, it's
like,
crazy
that's insane. Like, it's we so to tackle the big elephant in the room, as far as weather is concerned, and these very unfortunate incidents, these natural, quote unquote, these big quotes, big air quotes right there, natural disaster phenomena that we created, whether it's a machine that's pumping out some clouds, or it's us over generations of just screwing up our Earth. So Earth is just having this little way with us right now, and everybody's seeing strange weather all over the country,
all over the world.
Not just all over the world. Yeah, exactly. So we're going through this time period of, I don't know, the Earth cussing us out, kicking our ass. You know what I mean? Like
tribulation.
Yeah. Like, are we at this point? And we at this point of where we're gonna start seeing, you know, the weather that you get in the North Pole is gonna start being in the South Pole, and the South Pole weather is gonna be in the North Pole.
And they talking about that stuff is changing. The polarities of the world, like there's so much change happening right now.
So it's just like, I think we're gonna end up hitting a different type of ice age, as well as like firestorms and lightning storms, and I think we're going to end up having like some real sci-fi storms, you know, like shit that happens on other planets.
That part, the scariest thing that I always think about after seeing that hurricane go through Appalachia, where honestly, like so many people pass. That's one of the poorest areas of the entire country. There's a lot of people that live there that the census don't pick up. So we don't really know who went missing, who passed. Like, it's one of those real gray numbers, you know, it's a very gray number. They don't talk about that, but there's entire villages and populations in the Appalachian
that's big facts right there, right? That's big facts when you start. We ain't talking like just our data. Like, this big facts. It's one of the most poorest places in the country, in the U.S.
Yeah, the Appalachian region. Mm-hmm.
And
they got hit.
Real numbers.
It's hard to give it, you know, because because it's all that mountainous region, and the way the flood was. And it's like I said, it's hard to catch all the population estimates, especially for folks that don't complete like the data surveys. And some places just don't get sent out there because the areas are so remote and the population is so small. They focus on the cities, they focus on the suburbs. Yeah,
there's no way. So you just about don't exist if you live out in the wilderness.
Pretty much. I mean, you think about it, it'd be like the outback woods of like Bama and Mississippi. You know, we don't truly know like the numbers and stuff of where people are. We got an idea, you know, but
of course,
you know, it's tough.
But you still don't know.
And yeah, exactly. It's very hard to get those rural area estimates and stuff like that. So that's always something to think about. So the Kerr County incident was very much just severe because of the camping and stuff like that. And then just the another kind of background for that, you don't got a lot of self-service in some of these areas in Texas. You go to these camps and you go to these places.
We talk about that, and years ago, yeah. But now, dude, I haven't dropped a lot of service riding through Texas, man.
I get some cold spots going from here to Del Rio. I get some cold spots for about 30 minutes.
That's going South Coast. It's going towards the coast. So I feel you. Now I did a lot of driving, as you know, and and it was times when I would go certain places, like especially going towards West Texas.
Yeah,
you'll drop a lot of service. Going South Texas, you'll drop some service. So yeah, it's not as bad, but boy, it's pretty. That's wild that we even have that now.
Even in them areas. And then another thing with those camps is, especially for the more Christian camps, what they'll do is when you participate, they'll take your phone.
You gotta drop your phone.
Everybody's phone. Yeah. And they put them away. So it's like even the adults don't have their phones on them. It's a very strict thing. So it's like they probably honestly got awakened because of the water. The whole cabin probably started moving, and that's how they woke up.
Yeah.
And it's one of them things. But
camp counselors and owners definitely had their phones. And I'm going to tell you right now, those warnings didn't come in until late. And I think that's something that we got to keep a focus on.
Yep.
And why we're having late warnings on floods. Now, it's a difference when you got a late warning on a tornado. Right?
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my siblings earlier. And he was like, y'all got tornado warnings out there? I was like, yeah, we get warnings on our phones and our devices and phone and TV and whatnot. And he was like, no. Y'all got tornado sirens out there? I was like, in Austin? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't.
Right.
And I was like, hey, wait. Hold on, what the fuck? We don't have fucking sirens for tornadoes in Austin? But they got them all over Fort Worth, bro. I remember they used to do tests.
I was going to say, they more near North Texas. Like, I know Abilene got them. Panhandle got them. But when you get down near these areas, they don't have them. And the thing is, what's crazy is even in past voting in the Kerr County area, they put that on the plate, whether they should put budget towards like sirens for like floods and or tornadoes. And a lot of that didn't get passed,
And we don't even have it here. We have a really big ass dam in the middle of Austin, for those who don't know. Real big ass dam. And they trying to say that as rumors are being circulated, let's allegedly, is that they popped the dam and released it, and that's why Kerr and other counties and other places received so much water. No, that's not the case. We're actually so full now that they're talking about now letting the dam down. And if you let that dam down, trust me, nobody's flooding.
Yeah.
We've seen the release of that dam probably about 15, 20 years ago. And I've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, maybe twice in my life. And no, it doesn't flood anymore. So let's crash that rumor right there. You'll know when they let that dam down. First off, fishing is going to pick up tremendously. And secondly, everybody pulling their boats out. All right? You gonna expeditiously when they be pulling their boats out and rolling them up. That's dude, everybody going to town late. All right. So it's going down if they let the levees down for that dam. That dam is huge. So if we don't have flood sirens, I'm confused. I'm flustered by that. That scares the shit out of me. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Right. You know what I mean? I got 2 kids that live in Austin, and Austin area as well. So I'm trying to understand like why we don't have these certain things in place. How in the hell do we not have tornado sirens? How do we not have warning sirens for tornadoes?
In Tornado Alley, flash flood.
We're at the end. We're probably right at the bottom of Tornado Alley. If you really look at it geographically, you look at it on the map, we're probably literally right at the bottom.
Right at the end, yep. That includes
right at the end. But you kind of got to include Austin. It stops at Gerald. Gerald is a skip, hop, and jump from here. I understand a country lingo, a skip, hop, and a jump is probably about, an hour ride. So,
Post another states an hour. You drive.
You know what I mean?
Still in Texas? Like
yeah, man, bro. You can ride for 8 hours and still be in Texas. So especially if you coming from the border. If you coming from like the Rio, you from the valley. Anything down there, the Calvin, anything down there, you're gonna ride for 8 hours and still be in Texas. It's gonna take you 10 hours to touch Oklahoma.
That point.
So it don't matter what speed you traveling at.
You're gonna be in the middle of nowhere when you do get out. Ain't no
I promise. It ain't nothing out here, man. It's so I'm not understanding like how we don't have that. We don't have flood warnings and we don't have tornado warnings and we don't have nothing. You know
After all the flooding events, I mean, even here in San Antonio, and I mean, people can make arguments like, it's so big or whatever, but it's like precautions need to be precautions, you know?
And if I'm not correct, San Antonio is kind of like Houston with their drainage system, right?
Man, it's bananas. They fixed it up over the years, but what happens is, especially when it rains a lot, it gets all that debris, and then the drainage systems get clogged. Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the Countdown City is in a bowl.
Yep, we're in a bowl.
For those who don't know,
San
Antonio almost sits in like the most biggest crater hole you ever want to see. Like it's just a bowl.
So damn serious. Talking about that Edwards Plateau, it's like off of it. In a little history lesson with San Antonio, as I geek out real quick, they were founded by the Spanish, right? And the Spanish were flooded in like the 1600s, and it was a devastating flood. It wiped out the entire thing. And they sent back letters to Monterrey about, we're destroyed, we need to come back. And, they didn't want to move, even though they destroyed everything. They didn't report loss of life, but they destroyed everything. And the reason why they didn't want to move was because that flooding supplied all that water and rich nutrient for agriculture, right? So it's like that was a big portion of it. So now we are industrialized. It's not big on agriculture like that no more, but we're still here. If they literally would have resettled the city like maybe 2-3 miles north or something like that, we'd be okay. But they chose to keep it here, and many communities were destroyed over and over again for a very long time. And it wasn't rectified until damn near about the 70s. In the 1970s, and that went on for almost over 100 years in that city. So it's very very crazy where that's set. Austin's in a very similar situation, being kind of in a bowlish kind of area and being right off the hills, right off that plateau.
The only difference between Austin and San Antonio is that Austin has a crazy amount of hills. For those who don't know, we got a stupid ass amount of hills. Like big boy hills, you know what I mean? Like we got real hills and valleys. So with that,
it's in the hill runoff, country. That's the heart of the hill country.
Right, still up on the hill, but we're at a certain type of decline where the south side gets the flooding really bad. That's the south side of Austin. Get flooding really bad because that's the runoff. You know what I mean? The north side of Austin, as far as I can remember in my mind, I've never heard about flooding in the north side. You hear about it out west, northwest. You hear about it out there in Austin because of the creeks and the rivers that flow through the northwest. For lack of better words, the rich people like their water, and they like to be able to be close to the water. So that water out there is like it's those like from Cedar Creek all the way over. It's water. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, like there's it's water, and we ain't talking about a little bit of water. You know what I mean? Like when you're talking like from Cedar Creek to
I mean, you really think about it. There's a lot of different bodies of water going like northwest. That whole
all of it. We have crazy amounts of body of water and rivers.
Yeah,
and a lot of rivers,
and it all drains down. How you said. I remember
it all drains down.
Flood.
The runoff.
It was a runoff, man. It was a huge flood back in like the late 90s in the Onion Creek area, and it was like a whole neighborhood with a bunch of trailer parks and stuff, and they all got wiped out. There was a few that were left, but I still remember driving up, see my family in the McKinney Falls area, and you drive by that neighborhood because it's just overgrown, but you can see it in the distance. And I mean, it's just destroyed. I mean, they were just destroyed areas, so I mean,
I
That's
mean,
some
think
awesome
about
shit right there. That's a long
right. That's straight up awesome night shit. Like, think about all the way down there on Town Lake. I've heard about the floods of the people getting flooded out on Town Lake, and they got big multi-million-dollar homes sitting right there on the lake. And this lake is a river, essentially. Y'all got to understand, Town Lake is called Town Lake, but it's really a damn river. All right, it's Red River. You know what I mean? That's the Rio Grande River running through Texas. Now, we're giving y'all a little lesson here. All right? So you got to understand, that Rio Grande runs long.
Colorado.
You know what I'm saying? It's Colorado River. There we go.
Colorado.
My mistake. Let's get it right. Colorado River runs all the way through Texas. And so that comes into what we call Red River. Red River runs all the way through Austin, north to south. So those who like, which is the Colorado River. Colorado River itself runs through the Greenbelt. The Greenbelt itself runs north to south. Literally from the top of Austin to the bottom, but it runs on the west side. That's the west of 35 for those who don't know. So the west end of 35, all that shit has water. All of it.
All of it.
You know what I mean? That's why our drainage system is the way it is. Because our drainage system has a really good structure for the runoff. But back to the original point. We have gentrified a lot of neighborhoods and we have overextended ourselves with nature.
Right.
And we have screwed up infrastructure that's been laid in place because some other people that were smarter than the people that choose to do it now actually thought it out and was like, hey, if we get over this much population and we start stretching into this part of really beautiful natural land and we start cutting these trees down and we start gutting this riverbed, as we call them, where's that runoff going?
That part.
If we don't have that creek anymore.
Yep.
If you don't have these trees, if you don't have this wooded area, these woods.
Yep. That's a huge conversation, you know, when they talk about that in, you know, urbanography, and it's just the over urbanization and the urban sprawl that occurs from all these cities. Yes, and I mean, shit, even from the building of highways, that's blocks of concrete. We got to take up the ground. We got to take up what's around it. And we're taking away a lot of what originally would have. We think about it like this: that Spanish flood, it destroyed that you know, that colony or whatever, you know, that settlement, but they stayed, which means for me, at least thinking about it, it must not have been that bad for them to be like, maybe I need to go immediately. No, you know, I'm
gonna tell you what it means. I'm gonna tell you what that meant back then. We're talking what, 1600s? You said.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's just the land was different.
The land. That's what I'm getting at. The landscape was different, so they found high ground. Mm-hmm. They found high ground that didn't get wet, that didn't get flooded. Here's where infrastructure comes in. Oh, we just built in the wrong place. Let's build over here. Let's build our colony over here on high ground. You know what I mean? And then turns out that wasn't that smart either. You know what I mean? Like, so, but in all reality, where in the hell were they going to go? Talking 1600s.
Yep.
Where were they going to go? It was hard enough for them to get here.
Yep. And a lot of it was just economic based. They were just using San Antonio as an, you know, to send money back to the capital of Mexico at that time. You know, so that's really the main.
But wasn't at that time, if I'm not correct, was it 1200s or was it after the 1600s when Texas became United States and wasn't Mexico anymore?
It was in the 40s, and then we joined the U.S. in like the 1865 or something like that.
Exactly.
So they were a state for almost like 10, 15 years by themselves.
So here's my point in this lesson. In this lesson that Mr. Dr. BTP brung up. in this lesson, I need y'all to understand that was Mexico. That wasn't San Antonio.
Yep.
That was Mexico.
Yep.
Texas was only about, Mexico stretched past Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma Panhandle. And that little lower half of Texas, that was Texas. Texas was not that big, bro. You know what I mean? Until, what? Dun, 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 the Alamo. But how much fighting did they have before we even got to the Alamo? We had to push Mexico back. So, when Mexico got pushed back, it stopped where you see the border now. Texas grew exponentially in that 200-year span. You see that? Or four. What is it? 200-year span. It's 200 years and some change, he just said. You know, until what, 1860s, right? 1860s, 1880s, anywhere up in there.
Because Texas came about into the 1840s. So all the way up until that point, it's always been Spanish or Mexican territory.
It's Mexico. But how did, before we even became the Civil War with the okay, before all that, you still had the war that was going on with the Spaniards and the Mexicans. Spaniards had damn near got sent all the way back to Spain. Spaniards are the ones that came and found it. Christopher Columbus did not land in the United States, people. He did not land in the United States. He fucked up. He landed in South America. They fucked up. like, you accidentally, and didn't even land in South America. You landed at an island close to South America. So, you know, we're not going to go too far into fucked up history. But I am going to tell you this. We live in a structured land that has been fucked up, ran over, scooped out, put back, re-scooped, put back again, blown up, shot the fuck up. Hit with a stupid amount of tornadoes and a crazy amount of overdevelopment. And we're starting to get really overcrowded.
Yeah.
Where does the water have to go?
Exactly.
It's going to go back to its natural flow.
Yep.
So whatever in the hell is in the way, it's going to get rolled over. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's unfortunate that those kids had to lose their lives for us to start realizing that we're messing up our world here. Not just them, but it's been a lot of people losing their lives because of natural disasters because we didn't think it through. Prayers to everyone that's struggling in Kerr County.
Yeah.
Love is sent out to those who are struggling with loss because to lose a child is crazy to me. Unfathomable.
Unfathomable, yeah. Let alone if, you know, they're still searching.
That's,
you know,
bonkers.
And we're 2 weeks now from that almost.
That is
I couldn't, man.
insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be out there, man, working fingers to the nub.
You know, I saw this picture and it really tripped me out. You know them Ford like F-250s or whatever, the real big like 4-ton trucks. The whole truck was literally buried underground.
Yeah,
like that's how much debris that water was bringing, and it's just like if it was able to bury a truck that size, like. You know, imagine what it would do.
We're talking
a person.
We're talking 25, 30 feet of water.
Yeah. Hard
Put that in
water.
perspective.
It was stripping
that's over 2 stories.
Off the trees.
Yeah, that's over 2 stories. And that's a lot of water. And it's not to say that we don't get storms like that, because we do. The problem is that, again, I feel, and this is just an opinion, I feel that we have screwed up our state by overdeveloping in areas that shouldn't have been touched.
Mm-hmm.
Just point blank simple.
Yep.
I just think that it's some areas that we fucked with and we tore up, ripped them apart, and it cost them. So I need us.
We're changing a lot of stuff. I know even in Austin, there's been selling of land and stuff that originally were supposed to be not touched as recharge zones. And now they're being rewritten to be like real estate or whatever. And what's an interesting point about that with the overdevelopment is, you know, just a demographic thing with the Texas. Everybody's moving to the cities, right? And we see in the data that people are losing populations in these rural counties. So they're going into these cities and these rural counties are losing population. That's where everybody's going. So they start developing these areas. And where are these areas of development? Right along the middle, right along the rivers, right along the water bodies, because that's where the cities were originally built, usually around bodies of water, one way or another. And we're losing rural Texas, and a lot of it's just not getting good investment. You come to the city for resources, the education, and no one leaves. So we have this population growth in Texas, and it's blowing up, but it's all in these urban areas. And as you said, it's just overdeveloped.
And what do we have with? What do we have left? Now you got FEMA and disaster relief and all these other people trying to come in, and now it's more money, more tax money spent, more time, more effort, more lives, more misery. Yeah, all because of what? Urbanization, gentrification, or just trying your best to look as good as the next city. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If we keep pushing nature is going to push back.
Yep.
And this is what we're dealing with right now. Yep. In my opinion.
That's honest. And nature pushing back is getting the big circle, because I went on a huge tangent rabbit hole on that one, is, we see in these other planets, like I think, what is it, Jupiter or Saturn or something, they have the forever storm, right? And I don't know how true this is, but it's like a storm now starting to brew again on like Neptune or something. And I've always saw how recently, I've never used to see this, but we talk about the hurricane through Appalachia. I've seen hurricanes cross land, get back in the water, and gain strength again. I've never used to see stuff like that. And it's like, imagine if a hurricane were to form, like a Cat 5. We ain't had one of those in a nice little bit, like a solid Cat 5. And it comes and it goes through the land. It exits the land as like a Cat 1. And then it gets strong again, becomes a Cat 3 and goes somewhere else. And now we just have this living hurricane going all over the world, and all we can do is get out the way.
And hope for the best.
And hope for the best. Like, you can't, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What do you do? You can't battle a storm.
It's crazy.
And if we ever came up with a way to stop a storm or change a storm, we're going to be in serious trouble.
Man.
Because you don't need to fool with that. Like it's some things, natural disasters have to happen. And you just can't really get in the way of it. Kind of got to let it happen. But what we need to learn and improve on is how to survive and be able to live with this new weather that we're going to have in the next 10 years, 20 years, 5 years. So we need to start preparing ourselves for the ability to survive massive floods. Right now, New York's having a flood. There's other states having floods from the same circular system of storms. So we're looking at, it's not just affecting one place, it affects other places. I know I got a couple friends that live outside of different states. And when we get a storm, or they get a storm, it either rotates this way or ours rotates their way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not really per se heard of. You know what I mean? Like, especially in the directions that they're going.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just not too long ago, we had tornadoes in LA.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? That wasn't that long ago. We don't have tornadoes in LA.
I know.
We don't have tornadoes in New York.
I was going to say, I heard there was a tornado near New York or something like that.
Yeah, they don't have that. You know what I mean? Like, and what we got snow for the past 4 or 5 years or so,
and some heavy snow. Not just
we're
Texas
talking real snow. We ain't talking just Texas sleet or fluff, little fluff that melts when it hits the ground. Nah, we're talking stick snow. Where I see snowmen made out in the front yard of Austin, Texas. Oh, crazy.
We have blizzards.
Blizzards,
and then we have northern United States experiencing heat waves that they've never experienced before. And what's crazy is there's only so much infrastructure we can do, right? Because the way homes are built in the South is for hot weather. So when the cold happens like that, our homes are not built for that. Just like the North. It's built in a way
They
to
are
stay
built
warm.
for cold weather.
So when
to stay
you get
warm.
hot weather, you are melting.
Imagine
and it's just so it's like, what do you do? You know, what's
so
the
now
new norm?
we have to focus more on trying to prepare for anomalies like this.
Yeah.
In order for us to survive, where are we gonna go? We're gonna change planets.
That's what they try.
We're gonna pack everybody up. We're gonna change planets.
They trying hard to get to Mars. I'm like,
they trying hard to find some other planet to go to because we've screwed it up so bad. And in my opinion, how you gonna pack everybody up and get everybody there?
It ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be a small few that make it.
Everybody ain't gonna make it. So we're gonna have to start evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Start evolving. I'm gonna tell you one thing. When that freeze happened, not the freeze. COVID.
Yeah.
When COVID happened, whether it was man-made or just some phenomenon, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not get into that. But either way,
another episode.
When COVID happened and the world kind of just shut down, I seen animals come out and walk through downtown that I've never seen before.
That's honest. I think it's bro, like, you know, during COVID, I remember the reports where they would be like the smog, you know, the air pollution in LA and China and stuff like that. It lessened where you can see clearly.
Incredibly, tremendously.
You know, like, I think what was it? That the river in Italy that's very dirty because of all it turned clear and fish returned for the first time in forever. And it was like the world made us reset because it needed to reset.
It needed a reset. And so here's my true opinion. My boy likes to give you the big facts. You know what I'm saying? Too big for one G. I like to give you my opinion. And we give you the best of both worlds. So, you know, we're going to give you the facts. We're going to give you the truth. We're going to give you nothing but. But me, I'm going to give you my opinion about that truth. I believe we need a time where we could just everybody around the world, not just in the United States, around the world, everybody, for 7 days straight, sit your ass down. Everybody. And we need to do this shit at least like once a month.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine that? Being disciplined enough to give a damn about our earth before it decides to not give a damn about us. And give it time to heal itself. Because I believe just like we heal, the earth itself can heal. So if we gave it 7 days and 7 nights, once a freaking month, sit down. Every government makes sure everybody get paid. Let's not even make that an issue. If you got a job, you getting paid.
That part.
Let's not even make that a fucking excuse.
Because they did it. People got checks during COVID. They can't act like they can't do it. Don't
you can do it.
Don't let no one forget.
Everybody can get paid. Let's just sit down. Because there's other countries that do type of stuff like this.
Yeah.
But we really need to give our earth a break. So let's sit down. 7 days, 7 nights, once a month. Just sit still.
You fasting on the action. Yeah.
And watch how the earth just starts repairing itself.
That's honest, bro. It's like you fasting on the action, man, because in so many religions you fast. And fasting itself brings good health benefits. Your body will reset. You know, if you just sat down and just drank a little water and just don't watch what you just chill. You know, and then you do that reflection. It's like, imagine if everybody had that week to slow their roll, pause a second, and think about things for a minute. And how much better people's decisions would be afterwards.
How much stress we really wouldn't have. You know what I mean? If people had to sit down and really battle their own demon. I mean, that's going to be the toughest part. Is a lot of y'all are going to get cabin fever and not be able to sit alone with yourself.
And COVID showed a lot about who couldn't handle that shit.
Who can handle it? Who can't? Real fast.
It's been 3 weeks. But I mean, gotta get out. Like,
imagine if we all did this by choice. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Imagine what good we could really do to our economy, our economy itself. Imagine what good we can do to our earth.
Yep.
Like how good our air can get. Like, cause right now, dude, I live downtown area of Austin. And if I open my door, if I step outside, I promise you it's gonna be like the worst breath of fresh air you ever got in your life.
No, Austin's been having some bad air lately. A lot worse than
we got some really
some
horrible
years.
air quality, bro.
Yeah.
I've never in my life, and I've been here all my life, I've traveled, I've seen other places, I've smelled other fresh air. It was uncomparable. You could smell the morning coming.
Yep.
You could smell the night on the way. You could smell rain walking down the street. You can smell the air, the clarity of it. More stars in the sky when I was a kid, right in mid-city. We had big, beautiful constellations. Like, you could just see the stars. Our constellations was clear.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now, you'd be lucky to catch the North Star. And that's saying something, man.
Yep. It changed a lot.
Now, we got so much smog in the cities, you can smell the difference as you're coming down the freeway. Come down when you're traveling, next time you're traveling through Texas and you're coming into a major metropolis city, smell the difference in the air quality. Turn your AC off. Put the windows down. Smell that fresh country air. It's beautiful to your lungs. It's beautiful to your lungs. It feels so good. You know what I mean? You feel so refreshed. And then smell that funk. Bro. And this is real talk. Smell that funkadelic shit that hits your nose when you hit the city limits. I don't give a fuck what city it is.
Man, that's honest.
Especially top of the list. You got Dallas, you got Houston, you got San Antonio, you got Austin.
Yep.
No Pacific order. It's just those are the worst ones.
Yep. And you got a lot of oil rigs and factories in Corpus. A lot of them. And,
that's a different discussion.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
That's factories and bullshit that we pollute the air with. You know what I mean? But I mean literally the pollution that settles in major cities because they're overpopulated.
No, it's honest. And
it's too many cars.
What's been allowed. You know, I remember at one point, what was it? Lady Bird Johnson, she was real big on the beautification of Texas. I remember my mama telling me that she put in efforts to where she would plant blue bonnets and Indian paintbrushes and stuff all along the highways and stuff to kind of create that. And you think about, Houston's always pretty much had smog as a coastal city. I mean, you get the ships and stuff. That's there. But, Austin, I've never heard much about San Antonio like that. Dallas, like in the past, like, nah.
When I was younger, coming into San Antonio like that, you could smell the difference. San Antonio got more factories than Austin do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so you could smell the smog growing up as a kid, but you could see more green in San Antonio back then. Now it's almost a concrete jungle. Same thing with Austin. Yep. You could see so much green here. Okay, well, it probably wasn't green. It was mostly brown. But still,
that part.
Which is another thing I want to bring up. I've never seen the city look so green. The little bit of trees we do have, it's super, super green.
Yep.
Because we're not getting the normal heat we're supposed to get.
It's like a rainforest around here, man. I walk outside.
It's strange, bro. Like
damn,
it's super sticky. We got a lot of moisture. You know what I mean? It almost feels like a jungle.
Yeah, that part.
You know what I mean? It almost feels like a jungle, bro. Like it's super, super, super humid, way more than usual, and that's saying something. Mm. You know what I mean? When we've been sitting at 80%, 100%, 60% humidity all summer.
Yeah.
And for us, that's normal at 60, 50%. Sometimes 80% after a good thunderstorm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes 100% after a good thunderstorm. But and the coast, of course, Houston. We all know y'all stay humid like the Everglades. You know what I mean? But Austin is smack dab in the middle of this very big state. It should not be as humid as we are.
Right.
But it's because we've been having a wet summer, almost 2 summers in a row now, where last summer it was 30 degrees in May.
Yeah. We had cold fronts come in.
Cold fronts.
Like ridiculous. May. Like and I mean this Texas. This Texas. Like
we're usually triple digits by May.
Oh man, we be on our 12th consecutive day. Yeah, I mean, like it's crazy, and it's
by now wild. we would be complaining about record heat and talking about that we've been in triple digits for 60 days. Oh, you know what I mean? Like this is normally what we were dealing with right now, and then we're going into the hottest month, which is August. Yep. You know what I mean? And normally August, man, front to back triple digit. You know what I mean? Be blessed to see 95. You know what I mean? Like, that's the norm. And right after all this rain, we got 90, 99. Today, I think it's like 98, 98, 97 outside.
It's jumping back up.
It's going to jump back up. Like I told everybody, we're going to be in for some trouble come August. So we're going to be thankful that we got all this rain. Unfortunately, it took lives. But we're going to be thankful for it because normally we're like well under the line. Mm-hmm. Like normally we're like bone dry by now. We're on the water restriction.
And that's the whole thing about it, right? Like, the earth has that equilibrium, but because of the way the pollution is, through the theory, of course, as they say, it's where you'll have these droughts, and then it's like, okay, water, and then it's equaled itself out. And they don't talk about it that much around here, but they do make mention about the lake levels rising, the aquifer levels rising, which we needed. They drastically, and with the amount of people we got here, we need the water. But again, it took lives. And then the water that did come, you can't even use half of it because it's too dirty. It's just basically wastewater. So it's like it doesn't get into the it's diluted. You
doesn't even go through the system. Facts. We can't even flush it through the system. And unfortunately, our water quality is about 2 hiccups and a burp away from being Flint water. So you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like we're in a pickle, man. As a country and as a we're in a pickle. I mean, isn't China like cooking over there right now?
Man, it's just everywhere.
They're roasting over there. They're getting record heat waves over there right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they're cooking. There's volcanoes going off. I mean, the whole world is just shaking right now. And I think every bit of it, everybody's experiencing something one way or another. Wow. And especially now, and it's wild. It's like no matter where you are in the world, you probably couldn't find peace. You'd be watching your shoulder over something, and it's wild.
Facts. I don't even think we were supposed to go this far down the rabbit hole, BTP.
We made a whole episode about the floods, but you know what? That's all right.
That's all right. It's all right because I think it needed this kind of attention. Yeah, this is how it crumbles sometimes. I think it really needed this kind of attention. We really was not intending to go this hard on the floods. Like, but
wasn't.
It's a deeper conversation than I guess.
It's a whole thing, bro. And I mean, and we see the people come out for it. There's been a lot of donation help. I mean, George Strait has been all over it. I think he's holding a concert in Bernie where he's selling 1,000 tickets for $1,000 each, and each of them is going to like disaster relief. There's a lot of folks coming out, a lot of the sport teams, the NFL players. JJ Watt was a big one. Priest Holmes came out. I mean, it's a lot of folks, bro, and even the ones that are, unanimous, right, that are doing this type of stuff. And it's just,
no offense, Priest. No offense, OG. I was just saying, you know what I mean? Like, you Texas gave you a lot. So, I appreciate you coming back, showing love. You know what I'm saying? I really do.
Some love, man. And yeah, man, because
that's wild, dude. It's needed. That's wild. JJ, appreciate you.
Came out.
That's bonkers, dog. That actually just blew my mind a little.
A lot of them, man. I mean,
shit. What blew my mind was $1,000 ticket. That's insane. $1,000 ticket for a show, bro. And you're gonna donate it all. That's insane.
You're gonna donate it, and it's gonna be him open up with some other folks. And I mean, it's gonna be like a pretty.
That's dope.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's
everything's
crazy.
Coming together, and it's cool. Hopefully, the rebuild isn't too much. Hopefully, they rebuild better with better infrastructure, as we talked about. I mean, and what's crazy is that area was taken off of the 100-year flood map pretty recently. So even within current flood maps, they're not even in that, right? So it's like, there's a lot of things that need to be rethought. There's a lot of things
that need to be
reconsidered.
Somebody fucked up and dropped the ball. I'm going to say it for you, BTP. Somebody fucked up, dropped the ball. And they said, oh no, they straight. Kerr County, hell no, we gonna go and get rid of them. Take them off the flood map. We got somebody else we can stick over there. Nah, bullshit, you dumbass.
Honest. Yeah, and I fucked up. Being here in Texas,
define that person.
That part.
Whoever you motherfuckers was, they can define you some bitches. Y'all motherfuckers need to pay for it. I'm just saying.
And they must not have been from Texas, because no matter how dry the riverbed, shoot, 2 days ago, there was another flood where it went through Uvalde and it went through the Frio River, and that was at like 16 feet. The dry Frio River flooded. How does a dry river flood? It went up to like 12, 14 feet.
You get the fucking with infrastructure.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I know we done threw this word around a million times through this whole episode, but infrastructure.
Word of the day.
Infrastructure.
Buzzword.
We can't fuck up what naturally needs to be.
Exactly.
And that's ingenuity at its best. You know what I mean? When you talk about architecture and you're talking about trying to do something when it comes to removing earth, dirt, levels of it, you know, even going past the limestone, you really got to think about what you're doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, because it be causing a problem that may not occur now. It may not occur later. It could occur 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years down the road, but it could cost. You know what I mean? So let's find a way to prepare. Let's find a way to keep families safe. Let's find a way to not allow this tragedy to happen again, and find a way to be able to be survivors instead of victims.
Exactly.
So let's try to improve. And that's what this segment is about. It's just improving as a people. You know what I mean? As humans, let's just improve and be survivors, because we can't stop what's naturally going to happen. Can't stop storms. We can't battle them. We can't pull out a tank and shoot out. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to learn how to survive. And we got to be more prepared. Even if our government or our states or our counties are not preparing us, we need to prepare ourselves.
Yes.
Let's be a little bit more active and a little bit more aware of what can happen.
Exactly. And
ask more questions.
Be aware. Exactly.
Ask more questions.
I mean, shoot, I know we'll be watching the news of the weather and stuff, and they'll make the comment all the time whenever there's like a flood warning or tornado warning, because we've been getting those more than often than not lately. And they'll say, hey, be sure to let your friends know. Be sure to let your kids know, because they might be playing the game or watching Netflix, or, and if you're on those type of platforms, you listening to podcasts, unless it's the Big Facts podcast, but you're not going to get these warnings, and you wouldn't really know until you get that one on your phone, which usually if you get that one, it might already be a little late sometimes, so be aware, get on your local news, be aware locally what's going on. And shit, make sure you don't underestimate it, because I done seen many a warning sent out, and I see people driving around and out and about. And hey, then ain't nothing gonna stop for nobody. So, we got to make sure to pause and take notice and make sure everything's good to go when we out there moving. But yeah.
Keep your eyes to the sky, stay safe, pay attention.
Yes.
Be observant. Teach our kids how to be more observant, and teach them how to survive. And that's not just natural disasters. Teach them how to survive life. Let's teach them how to survive anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Keep your kids aware. Keep them on their toes. And I know this is something to where, they're going to have anxiety, and then they're going to be worried and stressed all the time. That's life. Get over it. Now, let's be safe. I'd rather you have an anxiety attack and still be safe.
That part.
Than to be having a damn anxiety attack and then you die. So let's
stress ain't that bad. If you feel a little something,
I'd rather deal with that and still be alive to be able to enjoy it. So let's teach better. Let's not just lay these problems on everybody else and the outcome, unfortunate as it is. Let's just not lay that trouble or that burden on somebody because we need to look to place blame. Let's still try to take some ownership of just not teaching. I understand how young these kids are. And they put these kids in a situation where they expected the people around them to protect them. As my understanding and the stories that I've seen, they really tried their best to protect these kids when they seen that it was danger present in that situation. And a lot of people gave their lives to save a lot of those kids too.
Yep.
So, man, blessings to those who had to really endure this. The next show, we're going to get a little bit more in depth into some entertainment, but this kind of just took over. It was more to say than we thought. We'll dig into some more things. We'll probably touch on Diddy. We'll probably pause.
No, Diddy.
We'll probably not touch on Diddy.
But we'll speak on it.
You know what I mean? And it'll be brief. We probably won't even dive that far into it. I really don't want to dive too far into that subject matter because I just don't have a lot of love for shit like that.
That part.
You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got no love for none of that type of shit. I don't condone those type of actions at all.
Exactly. And the segment's going to be a lot more about awareness and the generalizations of things because there's a lot more diddlers out there than the diddler himself. And I promise you.
Then the diddler. He ain't Diddy no more. That's the diddler. Y'all heard
all
of
the names,
Riddler? Nah.
All the names he gave himself. All the names he gave himself, and that's the one he's going to die with.
He's facts. He's going to have to run with that one. That's the diddler. And he be diddling with the diddlings and the diddlies. All right? So don't let him diddle with your diddler. All right? Because he like to be in your biddles with the diddle. All right?
Going after your Skittles.
with the diddles. All right? We ain't going to let him play in your Skittles and taste your rainbow with the diddler. All right? So don't let the diddler diddle with your diddles. All right? I can go 1,000 ways with that. All right, the diddler has striked again. We're gonna make sure that this don't.
It's the baby oil.
Is it Johnson & Johnson diddler? Is it Johnson & Johnson? That's the answer to the riddle diddler. Johnson & Johnson.
Bad boy. Take that. Big bang.
Yeah, imagine that. Welcome
in the
to
broader
Bad
context.
Take that. Now,
never again.
Imagine that's probably how he came up with that slogan. That he was just like giving somebody the raw diggler, and it was talking about take that.
I mean, he put a lot of emotion in that ad lib. I ain't gonna lie.
That was his favorite. That was his favorite. That was his favorite, bro.
Boy, probably that shit in their ear.
It was so creepy. Before we get out of here, let me just let y'all go because I know we really been holding y'all a while.
Oh damn it.
Diddy always rubbed me the wrong way, and I ain't talking about touching on me. He just never sat comfortable with my spirit, man. Like never did, and everybody else as well. We always respected him as a businessman. But just kind of as a person, from what we could see from the outside looking in, he was weird as hell. You know, he's Diddy bopping through your video. Nothing is yours. It is we. It is us.
This is ours.
This is everybody. We're gonna put everybody in Bad Boy. Everybody we got in Bad Boy Entertainment, we're gonna have them in your music. So he did it all to the max, and he was always just looking real weird when he would grab a hold of you. You know what I mean? Like, you see how he would grab hold of people and be all up on their face and kissing on them and shit? Whether it's a man or a woman, it didn't. Yeah, I'm Diddy. Take that. Oh, we not gonna, act like this was just invisible. Because it wasn't. And we're not gonna act like this is a surprise. Because it wasn't. So next segment, we'll dive further in. We'll get y'all with the big facts. We'll hit y'all with nothing but the truth, so help us God. And also, we're going to hit y'all with some of that real shit, that real-ass opinion, because, opinions matter, but at the same time, they fucking don't. So don't pay me no mind. I'm just saying what's on my mind. We here, Big Facts, Too Big for 1G, BTP the Realist. Hey, and y'all be ready for some real new music that's going to be coming out and coming your way real soon. That boy BTP been in a lot. Look in there. All right. I ain't do much. I just throwing a little sprinkle, sprazzle, razzle, dazzle here and there. You know what I mean? We got something real special coming. Y'all keep ears motherfucking rhinestone. We gonna hit y'all with some hits. All right? Y'all good? Keep it tight. Stay safe. Stay blessed. It's Big Facts and we out.